Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome
Go-
back to the
go
Neverland.
live.
What?
I think there you live.
Now I'm live?
Yes.
This network doesn't
No, it's
work.
good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Neverland Book Club. Welcome to our live stream. Oh, look, I just got a notification to watch myself online because, Today, we are discussing The Priory of the Orange Tree. My name is Nadia. This
I'm
is
Hecate.
Hecate.
Mm-hmm.
We both read it. We both liked it. I liked it. Do you like it?
I did like it.
Okay.
I have many thoughts about it.
Yes. We have all of our thoughts written out, and we're going to discuss it for as long as we can keep going, which, that might take a little bit too much time of your time, but stay if you can. Have us on in the background. Hang out in the comments. Tell us your thoughts if you have read this. I know there is a prequel coming out next year, and I'm very excited about that because I hope there's more origin story of it. I think it's February of 2023. If anybody knows. Yeah, what's going on back there?
We have people crawling on the ground.
Your laptop's not
It's
charging.
just how we roll. It's not? I plugged it in.
I know.
We're also drinking tea out of our novelty mugs. I have the I read past my bedtime mug, and Hecate here has reading is my therapy.
Which is true and accurate,
Yes.
and I should probably check in on that.
We
but-
just didn't print it on the other side of this, so it's not.
Oh.
It doesn't.
You know,
this is
kinda
not the one we
funny.
print. This is the one we had made. We didn't print this one.
Oh. I do like the little lady. She's a nice lady.
Yeah.
They're very good. Yeah. Where do you want to start?
Okay, so let's start with some notes. My first note is 4 viewpoints. It's not specifically obvious that there are 4 viewpoints because all of them are told from an omniscient standpoint. So it's not like other books that you read where if there's multiple viewpoints, it's in first person, so it's kind of obvious. This one is a little less obvious, but it's more third person omniscient, not completely omniscient because we are in viewpoint still. So I thought that was interesting. I kind of just ignored the whole south, west, east thing of it. Like every chapter starts with where you are, and I kind of ignored that because I just kept getting confused. And then all the characters kept traveling. So I was like, you don't need to tell me where we are because I'm with the character and I remember where they were last time.
I don't think I ever looked at the map when I was reading this book. That might be just a
I
me
love
thing.
maps.
I know, they have wonderful maps in here.
Yeah.
Apparently I just never looked at them because I was like, oh, this makes more sense because they went there and then there. You can kind of track their progress all across the novels and
Yeah.
everything.
No, this is
Especially,
great.
I was really interested in, what was it? The Empire of the 12 Lakes. I loved this.
Yes.
We didn't get a lot of it.
Yeah, no, that was
It
more
was-
towards the end. And then when they go
Yeah.
into the abyss towards the end. By the way, spoilers.
Yes,
If
sorry.
you haven't read it and you plan on reading it, just don't
Watch it back later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
watch this later when you're finished. But if you have read it and you have thoughts and you want to chime in, please. We have moderators in the back that are monitoring comments.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts too. But with these guys, I really wish they had gone more into depth here, because this is, I think, the big thing that was disappointed in this book was there's not really a lot of dragons. There is some, but also if you're reading it for the big dragon fight, don't stay for the big dragon fight. I think I told you
Yeah.
that when you were
Yeah.
beginning to read it.
Yes, I was like, I don't want to jump straight to the ending, but but the ending was slightly anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Slightly. Like it made me feel all of the good feelings of a good ending, like a climactic ending, but it was like there, and it went like that. It wasn't like.
There's also a lot of loose ends.
That makes sense.
That it's like the whole. There's an empire that was controlled by the demon king, or like the demon dragon, and just all of a sudden we jump to the future, and Loth is wondering whether or not they actually got that out of their system, kind of, because they were suffering from
that's
like
right. That's right.
the
Yeah,
red sickness.
the red.
Or
There's it's not just the red. Was it just the red sickness? There was a king who had it, and then his daughter was going to have it, but Loth had it for a little bit.
Yeah, then it got better.
And then he went to the Priory and got better. There was that we went into that part once, and then later on they like briefly mentioned like I don't know what happened with them, but we'll see. Yeah. And I was like, you don't. What?
Yeah. Anyways, what other talking points do we got?
One of the main things I think we both agreed on is that this is 3 books in one.
Yes.
This is a whole trilogy.
Yeah, if you just want to just read a whole trilogy all at once, this is a great book to read. It's also more of a... I think I really suffered a little bit with this book because I picked it up and put it down a lot when I was reading it. It's because a lot of it is more of a summary. So, like, there are times where I kind of feel like the author has summarized something where I'm like, I really wish she would have gone more into depth with it, especially with some of the characters, which was interesting, especially since you had the different religious views of the same characters.
Yes.
Which was fascinating to me.
So I said a lot of religious commentary because it actually goes into, like, the same thing the Abrahamic religions have in common.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens here, is that, like, from different regions, different societies have come up with the same story of history to become religious about and to just worship that main storyline and their wars against each other based on a story. That is the history of religion, which I found very interesting in looking at it from, like, a bird's eye view, and it has dragons. So I thought that was my second thing, was religious commentary, political factions.
And I did like that she had a character that was actually alive during those times. And then when it just nakedly went, this is everything. Yes. You've caught me. You've seen my whole backstory. Yeah, she's
talking about the witch.
The witch, yeah, the white worm as she is called. But it was so interesting to see that she would just appear sometimes and go like, haha, now I get to tell you my tragic backstory.
Yeah. And they were just walking in the woods and like, whoa,
what's that?
All right, we'll sit down for this.
Yeah. And also, like, she seems like such an interesting character. I loved that she would pop in and out. I think I also warned you when I read this book, I was like, a lot of the characters just jump in and go, this is my story. And they kind of spend, like, a couple pages on it.
It's
really
like
like
the end of an episode of Scooby-Doo.
Pretty much, yeah. Where they tell you, like, their motivations, their traumas, their everything else. But I did like that kind of smoothed out, like, all the religious things.
Yeah.
Like, then she kind of was like, oh, yeah, no, I had sex with my son. It was fine. He didn't like me, though, after he realized that he had done stuff with me.
Also, I'll help you for sexual favors.
Also, yeah. And then barter you down to a kiss, because apparently you're in a committed relationship, and she respects that, which interesting.
It was kind of, I thought that was nice. She was like, all right, I can deal with that. Kiss me?
Yeah. Kiss me instead?
I'm lonely. I haven't had any since my son tried to kill me. Okay.
She's an interesting character.
The next thing I have is Game of Thrones written by a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I do see what you say. I do see what you were saying with it being more summarized. I feel like Game of Thrones went into so much detail. I read the first couple books of Game of Thrones long time ago, like before the show. And I liked them, but I felt like they were too much.
You get a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Very quickly that somehow become important in book 5 when you remember that they exist, which is really hard because I think that, just to fact-checking with my moderator, isn't it true that, like, George R.R. Martin, the husbands, love the boys, but yeah, George R.R. Martin has like a huge, like, such a huge mythology and such a huge lore. He actually checks back in with, like, a favorite fan of his, where he goes like, hey, what's the eye color of this guy? And he's like, give me 5 days.
Oh,
and he goes through.
Yeah.
Yes. He goes through and just searches for that one character, and he's like, oh, it's this guy. And he's like, why do you need it? And George R.R. Martin goes, ah, ha, ha. No reason.
You'll never know, literally.
You'll never know, literally. I'm gonna die before I make this book. Please don't. Please.
Oh.
Please don't. But anyways.
At this point,
it's fine.
He gave them those and he still messed it up.
It's okay.
Okay, but we're not here for that.
Yeah, anyways.
We're here for this one, which I feel like did a good job for what it was. But I feel like if it went the Game of Thrones route, it could have done more by going more in depth to more of the characters and having more dragons.
I would have loved more dragons in this one. The dragons are just such a fascinating, like the Empire of the 12 Lakes. I loved that so much. I really wish we had spent more time with them and let it breathe a lot more, because Tane gets a dragon, loves that dragon, and then her backstory inevitably comes and chomps her.
Yes.
And very sorry, Sousa. R.I.P. Sousa.
Oh, R.I.P. Sousa.
She was wonderful. But yeah, she gets the dragon, and then the dragon immediately gets kidnapped, and then she's sent to in the middle of nowhere.
The Island of Feathers?
The Island of Feathers, I believe. Or
Feather Island?
Feather Island. We'll just call it Feather Island. It's fine. But, like, she's there for a long time just grieving, which, fair. Let grief stand. But I really wish there had been like another character maybe on a dragon, or learning more about the dragon lore,
Yeah.
or doing
The only
anything
like
to
dragon
showcase.
riding we get is Tene after she saves him.
Yeah.
And she saves him from the pirates in like a pretty badass way. That was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was really fun.
I
I
did
loved
love
the
that.
pirates.
I
loved
absolutely
the
adore
pirates. I loved the ships
Mhm.
and like all of that. I wanted a lot more of that. That was, I think, like like I would say the first half is like court.
Mhm.
The second half is like when Iad leaves, and the second half is like wild adventure, and we learn about the Priory. And then the third is all of the boat stuff. So those are like the three kind of like arcs that happen, and I feel like those are the three books that could have been the trilogy.
Yeah, and I felt really sad whenever they went back to court, because I'm like, we're back to this shit again. All right, cool.
But I like that Sabran was on the boat with them.
Yes.
And she was like decked out, and she was like, I'm ready to fight even though I'm a lady.
She had a couple moments, like with the white worm when she was facing it, or even with what was the first worm that she saw?
The High Western?
The High Western, yeah. And then she gets protected by her girlfriend. She goes, I am immortal.
Yeah.
And he's
wait
like,
a minute.
please.
I am magic?
And he's like, please don't do that again. Wasted everything on you.
I've seen really good fan art of that moment.
Yeah. Oh, did I send it to you?
Oh, maybe you sent it to me.
Maybe.
Maybe that's where I saw it.
Just like, I'm in love with an idiot. It's fine.
Oh, yes. Yes, you did send it to me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Also, sapphic romance. So
yes.
it is very...
Everyone's gay, and it's fantastic.
Yes, it is. It is very fantastic. It's also the slow burn, and also the knight. I do love a good queen and knight trope.
Yes.
And Iad is
but
like
they're
the
both female.
assassin. Yeah, I know.
So it's cuter.
It's wonderful. Yeah. Well, what else do we have?
The succession of the crown is based on female legacy.
Oh yeah.
I loved that. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about ACOTAR for just a second, okay?
Yep.
Because one of the main complaints I see with ACOTAR, which I completely understand, is if you're writing a fantasy, why do we still have to live in a misogynistic world?
Yeah.
I understand that. However, there are two types of feminist novels. I think it's just my opinion. There's the feminist novel that was written for someone. Okay. Like ACOTAR, where the women rise up in the world of misogyny. So it's despite that. Okay? Feminist novel. So it's like you can place yourself into those characters' shoes and you can see yourself as that character. And it gives you a bit of motivation to live in the life that we have to live in, which is a more patriarchal, misogynistic world. It's just how it is. And that in and of itself, I think, is a feminist novel, if they are portrayed in the right way, where, they fight against it, fight the patriarchy.
They fight against it, and they also don't downplay other women's struggles to fight against it. That's a big thing for me, because I have read those novels before where I found female characters that basically look at other women and go, "You are worthless," and I'm like, It's okay that she likes dresses. It's okay that she likes to do things. It's okay that she enjoys a life of living, like, as a wife.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm okay with that. But I don't like it when main characters in those types of novels look at them and go, you're less than me. And I'm like, no, dude, it's okay for them not to want to fight.
Right. And have you
people.
read A Court of Silver Flame?
Yes, I have read that one.
The fifth one?
No, I have not read that one.
Oh, that's the big one. The big gray one. Court of Silver Flame.
I think I stopped with A Court of Rose and Thorns. I stopped with A Court of what's it called?
Wings and Ruin?
Wings and Ruin.
Okay, so you didn't read the winter special.
No.
The Christmas special.
There's a Christmas special?
There's a little Christmas special.
Oh god, alright.
Well, we in the fandom call it the Christmas special because it's about the winter solstice. And it's only like 200 or so pages long. It's like everything is feel good. It's like right after the war. So they
get after the war. Interesting. Okay.
It's actually not too feel good. It's a lot of trauma. So the fifth one, A Court of Silver Flames, is about Nesta. It's all Nesta and Cassian.
Oh, I would like to. Okay, maybe I should read
You might
that.
not like it because it's a lot more sex. It's like a lot more sex.
I think the reason why I struggle with
you didn't like the other ones because there was too much sex.
Well, there is.
I liked it.
It's fine that they have sex in it. I really struggle with the tone shifting between having sex and then having plot.
Well, the whole point is she like kind of uses sex to get over her trauma.
Yeah, which was interesting. I thought it's a fascinating thing to do. I do really like it. In this book, though, I do like the way that they also utilize sex, which is just, it shows like an intimacy.
More subtle.
Yeah, it's more subtle.
And it's more about intimacy, yeah.
Yeah, it's more about intimacy in this novel. But also, it doesn't go into 15 pages of describing one sex scene, which is why I struggle with books like...
I like that.
I know. we've talked about that one a lot, but in this book, this one actually shows like a lot of intimacy, which I really enjoyed, but also
conversations that are
conversations
between two people that understand each other, which is nice to read and rare, I think, in more modern books. I think it's that is something that made it feel older.
Yeah.
Because older books do focus more on character rather than plot, I feel, like the classics. Like, what was Pride and Prejudice really about?
What was Pride and
one of the
Prejudice
greatest
really?
romances ever written. What was it about? People needed to get married. That's it. Like, how do you live in society? You need to get married. The four sisters need to find husbands. That's the plot. So that, like, less plot, more character. But what makes that book memorable? The characters. So I feel like a lot happens in this book. There is a lot of plot, and it's good. However, when we get to the big ending and the nameless one is finally revealed, and you're in the abyss, and you're like, and it's raining, and there's seawater on you, and there's so much
boats are on
drama,
fire, people are dying.
Yeah.
There is a flame thing. Your queen is jumping from ship to
there
ship.
There are wyverns and worms flying everywhere. It's just absolute chaos. We're in the depths of chaos.
It's like one of the best parties ever.
Yes.
Wish I was there. Wish that were me. And then it's
Woodstock.
concluded in
Woodstock for worms, I was going to say.
Woodstock for worms. Just go nuts. Just go crazy. Good boys. But yeah, and then it's over in 2 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where I think most people, I did read a lot of reviews about this book before I actually got into it, because I wanted to see, like, hey, is it good? Because I heard a lot of divisive things said about it, which is, it's not good. And I argue against that. I think it is good. It is good in certain respects, but that's why I warned you, don't stay for the dragons, don't stay for the ending. Because I think it really does, it summarizes it.
I think it was good despite that.
It was great despite it, yeah.
I'm hoping that maybe Miss Samantha Shannon, God bless you, maybe hears that, and hopefully, well, I know that she already has beta readers for the prequel. I don't know what it's called. I just know the cover is blue.
The cover is blue. I can look for a blue cover. Let me see. Private Orange Tree.
Prequel. 2023.
2023.
I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen it on Book Talk.
Prequel to the New York. Oh, this is an article though. This is a Tumblr.
Maybe go to images.
Oh, The Day of Fallen Night.
I guess.
All
A Day of Fallen Night.
Cool. A Day of Fallen Night.
Good title.
Is announced by as of January 2023.
Oh, January. Okay.
Yeah,
I was a
look
month
at
off.
that. It is 2022. We could read it in a couple months. Yeah. Would you look at that? That's
Would
fantastic.
you look at that?
Yeah. But
I'm excited for that.
Sorry.
That I'm gonna get on.
I distracted you from
pre-order.
from feminist novels. I do agree with you on the feminist novels. I like this one. I do. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
The second
Mm-hmm.
is a feminist novel like this, which is written entirely as the patriarchy, but female.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Which I find a lot more women are starting to write. There is, I don't mean to like segregate it, but there is like a certain sort of writer that writes, this woman is fighting against the patriarchy, is fighting against everything else. She is strong. She is independent. It's a very YA kind of fantasy thing.
Yeah, very YA.
But then you get to more books like this where you have like a society that is just based off women. And there's a society that is based off of women, a lot of society that isn't based off of women. But they still respect each other enough to actually still respect people. Like, there's not really a lot of... I didn't notice a lot of sexism in this book. None of it really stuck out in my head.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, that was really nice about it. It was like, you kind of... Sometimes you want to read something that is a little more... Like, that's what made certain... My thoughts are all over the place, sorry. That's what made certain books feel more like fantasy than others, I feel. Like, this one felt more like fantasy than, say, ACOTAR. Yeah. And I keep referring to those books because those are like this big, you know. They're like those books that are just hefty. The same with Crescent City, because those two books are about the same size. So it took me like the same amount of time to read them, and I invested the same amount of time. But this one felt more. It felt like more.
Yeah.
And I did see someone say something interesting about it, about exactly why. And they said that reading The Priory of the Orange Tree is like reading for school, and reading Sarah J. Maas books is like reading for fun.
Yeah, Sarah J. Maas seems...
Where it's like you turn off your brain and you have fun, and it's more like reality television in your head.
Yeah.
And this one is like a classic in your head.
Yeah, it treats itself a lot like the books handle a lot differently. I don't know if that's a good
Yes.
term for it, but they kind of have a different, I want to say, personality. The
They
books
do.
have a very different personality where like this one approaches it as like a very serious topic, and then Sarah J. Maas is just like they're fairies,
Yeah.
which
Sex.
yeah,
Fairy
sex
sex.
fairies, good. And this one is like, no, there are dragons and they're dying. And like it seems like a lot more like it approaches itself way differently, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that tone, but I know that I really struggled to get interested into it. Like
In
I
this
don't
one?
yeah.
Oh.
I would pick it up, I'd read a bit and go, okay. And then I would put it down again. Like it took me like a good week or two to like actually read it. And I think I got interested around page 400, which yeah, it's
How you
like
stuck around.
I mean, you watch me read Den of Vipers.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that
later.
one. That one you really have to turn off your brain for.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
Oh god. But then they do. Never mind. But like, it is an interesting book in which like I did feel interested by the characters. I did feel interested in everything else. But I kind of suffered when they went back to court. But it seemed like most of the novel was based in court because that's where the queen was, and they wanted her to be a part of things. But I really enjoyed it when they went back to see the Priory. I really enjoyed it when they went on the treasure hunts. I really enjoyed it when they went out to sea and when there were dragons. I really loved those parts. But there's such a small part in it that I really struggled to just feel out this book a lot, because Tanya gets her dragon, immediately loses it, and then we spend the next several chapters, like dozens of chapters, just sitting with her in grief.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that can be rough, but I appreciate that there was time that she spent doing that, and then she spent time just trying to figure everything out. Like, I liked how the author kind of did explain how confusing the legends were to different people.
Yes.
Because, like, everybody's searching for the same truth, but there's so many different ways of viewing it, and so many different skewed views of it, that it is hard to do. And I really enjoyed seeing, like, all the different characters find out a little tidbit and go, haha, but this makes sense because of this. It was like a little puzzle in my brain when I was walking through it. It's
when I was
fantastic.
reading it, I could imagine Samantha Shannon with like a pin board,
the pin board with
in
all
her
the
writing
red
room,
lines.
and it has the lines everywhere, and she's like, "But you don't understand."
And I do enjoy the fact that there was just one character, I keep on saying it, but there's one character that was actually live during that time to be like, you guys don't understand at all. And everybody goes, do you want to tell us? And she goes, I would love to. And like just tells everyone.
Fix the history books.
Fix the history books, yeah. But it's so cool to see like the different interpretations of it, but also those characters that were back in the past, we kind of get to live through their lives again.
Mm-hmm.
Like they still matter in the present, even though they are already gone. So it's interesting to see like the wide-reaching implications of that and of those stories that they told. Very good.
Also, every time I read Baratheon, I thought Baratheon.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I thought, oh, this is Game of Thrones.
I spent the last 4 hours writing down character names. Like I totally forgot to mention Dr. Nicholas Ruse.
Niclays.
Niclays.
I hated him.
I hated him too, but
I
I
thought he
appreciate
was-
a nasty man. Like
Yeah, he was a spineless fool.
he was a coward. And
he
he
was
just
a coward.
Yeah. I did appreciate a nasty man though. Like he's fun to hate.
You literally wrote, I appreciate a nasty man.
Yeah, I like to see him just try and figure things out and be terrible at it. Like it was interesting to see that, but also I loved him in contrast to Tane, because Tane, holy shit, love that girl. Love a girl with motivation that just goes for it. I loved her morality. I loved everything about her. And lack of. Yeah. She was like, I just want it. And I'm going to take it. And I'm like, oh, good for you. Yeah, you do that. You take that. Don't worry. Oh, you killed him. Oh, God. Like, it's really fun to just watch her do it.
She does. I like that they do acknowledge, like, I killed him. I had to. Keep moving. Keep going forward. Keep going forward.
No, they do. This is the first book that I found that, like, they actually talk about the deaths of the characters and how they affect one. Because I remember there was, what's his name? Sousa, Kit. Yeah. Loth, literally.
Even Trude? Trude?
Yes, but also like
there's a Y in there.
Yeah, but also Lady Trude. Trudy.
Trudy.
It's with a Y.
But the Y is not at the end.
Yeah, but I did love like you kind of see Dr. Niclays. Yeah, Dr. Niclays. You see him like at his worst. And he has nowhere to go but up, but he still goes down.
Yeah.
But he's like he does get worse before he tries to get better, and then he gets worse again.
The Pirate Queen cuts off his hand.
Yeah.
I was like, yes!
Yeah. Good for you. I loved her, by the way. She's fantastic.
She's fantastic.
I really wish
That's
there was
another
more
thing.
of her.
Like there was more. There was just women everywhere, and it
Mhm.
was fantastic.
Like
And it was fun to read
Mhm.
for different reasons than other books are fun to read.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see all the characters like kind of like it was very much Game of Thrones-ish, where like they mentioned in the very beginning. I totally forgot about this. They mentioned in the very beginning that Sabran might be a bastard.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I totally forgot about that. And I was like, wait a minute, right? She meets her dad, and then like there's a whole thing about like them like Loth meeting her dad before she meets her dad, and then like everybody else meeting her dad before Sabran meets her dad. At the very end, it's just like, are you my dad?
Yeah.
Did you fuck my mom? Did you?
You're not even my dad.
Yeah, but it's fun to see like them play around with that a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's like there's little characters that you don't think that matters, and then every once in a while like they pop up. Like Lady Triad actually, she didn't matter, but she mattered because somebody cared about her.
Yes.
And I find that that's a lot
What was
different
his
than most
name?
other book. Well, Dr. Nicolai's
no,
had a relationship with
boy,
the dad.
No, the boyfriend.
Oh, the boyfriend. Master Trium
Sulliyard.
There we go.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I was like, Sulliyard and Trude.
Trude?
They both die,
Yeah.
and what they did to Trude from the justice, the chief of justice.
The Chief of Justice.
She
What's her name?
she cuts
Yeah.
off her head and puts it on a pike.
Yeah. And that's rough, buddy.
That's
Yeah.
no.
That's a rough time, buddy. Lady Ingrid Crest.
Yeah,
There we go.
fuck
Duchess
her.
of Justice.
Can I say fuck?
Yeah, maybe.
Fuck her.
Yeah, she was kind of. I did
Duchess
appreciate.
of Justice, my ass.
Yeah, but also
She's
like she
terrible.
abused her own family too. Like holy shit, Rosalind. She is the one person, or is that how you pronounce it, Rosalind?
Rosalind, I think so.
Rosalind. Okay, cool. But Rosalind Crest, an underrated biddy. Like love a bottom bitch. She's she's fantastic. I loved that she was like a nasty woman in the beginning, but it was for a reason.
Yeah.
It's because she was raised by that person. So like it's so cool to see that she was actually truly loyal to Sabran.
Mhm.
And instead of just like going down and just going down with the ship with her grandmother,
Mhm.
she actually stands by her convictions and goes like, I love being in the shadow. Like I think one of the quotes was like, I love being like, it is my honor to be her shadow. It is my place.
I do remember. I think I may have tabbed that because I thought that was a nice line.
Yeah, it was a really good line. And I was
Yeah.
like, damn. And also she got like broken fingers and she was like standing and she was holding a spoon or like a very dull object. And she was just protecting her queen. But I loved that. And Harry did the Duchess of Justice and Chief Gentlewoman as her
Mhm.
mother was.
Yes.
Which, man.
Oh, even there
Yeah.
was there was another handmaid that
Mhm.
died in bed with Sabran because she didn't like to sleep
Oh.
alone.
Right, and then she screamed.
Yeah.
I remember that. But she was like the oldest.
But she was really old. Yeah.
She was really old.
Even
Mhm.
see, like they do give deaths. Even when Loth, not Loth, sorry. What
Kit?
was her Sabran's husband's name?
Oh, Prince Arneth or Prince? No. Arloth is the other guy. I did write him down.
I forget his name.
He's Prince. That's his dad.
Arbrecht.
Arbrecht. Yeah. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
I think it's Arbrecht. I loved him. I thought he was great.
so sweet.
He was bad in bed,
Yeah.
but he was nice in bed.
he had a great personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
He was sweet.
he was
He was there.
yeah. He was. Are you enjoying this?
He was hot. Yeah. No. I
He did
felt
his- he
so
did his
uncom-
duty.
He did his duty. He got her pregnant,
Yeah,
and then they immediately died. So, R.I.P. a real one.
Yeah.
Like,
but
a lot
I
of
did
people
like
die. I'm
back to the
realizing.
grief thing. Yeah, a lot of people died, but
Mhm.
they gave everyone the right amount of time of grief, and they
Mhm.
called back to like because when Loth goes to the island
Mhm.
and meets that other king,
Mhm.
and he's like, well, I need a marriage prospect if I'm gonna give you all of my dragons,
Mhm.
and he's like, yes.
Yes.
They have a comment from Rocket Reed. She
Oh.
says, I really like this book. I wish I could remember it more. I'm hoping to reread it again.
Yeah, I think that
You should.
You should. We forgot most of what
Yeah.
happened. I read it like a couple months ago, but also when I was reading through it, I was like, I forgot about this, and you went, I also forgot about this.
I read it a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago, like in this month, in
Mhm.
September. I read it, but I think I read it like the first week of September.
Mm-hmm.
And
She
like,
also said he was like a 5. I guess the last guy you were talking
oh,
about. Yeah.
You know what?
Aw.
Actually, we do stand Iad actually being honest with Sabran, being like, he's
Yeah.
all right. Everybody else being like, wow, he looks so handsome.
Yeah.
Getting the minifigure being like, this bitch ugly.
He's all right.
He's all
The-
right.
the
yeah, he's
miniatures.
yeah.
Because back then you couldn't like
See your
send a
husband.
pic. You
Mhm.
sent miniatures of yourself like to the people that
Is that
like
dick
even
big?
instead of
Is that-
portraits, they would send like little mini
How's that simpler?
Oh, we don't
because
know.
they're small.
Because
Because when
What are
people had
portraits?
portraits made,
Yeah.
it's a portrait. And do you have portrait money? No. Do you have miniature money?
When you have miniature
Yes.
money?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Someone carved you from wood.
What takes longer though? Like, make a portrait of me.
Yeah.
Or carve a little doll.
Oh,
Like,
basically-
how about we do like a
Yeah.
YouTube video about it? Make a
should.
portrait of me.
The
But also,
history of
everybody
miniatures.
sucks at the history of miniatures. I was just gonna make a portrait of the
Oh.
husbands, and then have them be
it
versus a
does
miniature.
bend.
It
One
doth
of you-
bend
one of
was
you
the
will
big
make a
one.
miniature, one of you will paint a portrait. We'll see who wins.
We'll
in
see
the
who
next
we'll
live
see who's
stream.
gone fastest. I can't do either.
Oh.
Yeah. haha.
The husbands will pretend to be ladies in waiting for.
Oh.
So like the slight bend of like the what was it, the risque shoulder,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
shoulder.
slight bend. Yeah.
This, like,
Madam.
Yep. Madam. Madam. Yeah. No.
Okay, I do have this much written, so we should get to it.
Okay.
Okay. So
Or do you want to pick out highlights so that we
I think I'll just go in order.
go ahead? Yeah.
My next one says the nameless one literally had no name, no personality, evil for no reason.
Good for him.
Yeah. We kind of covered that. He was just bad to be bad. There was no real like reason.
He lived in a lava pit. He just wanted to get out.
Yeah, what if he
He didn't
got
have to
out
destroy the
and
world.
nothing happened? He didn't want.
Yeah.
He wasn't like a Thanos, even though Thanos was right.
Yeah.
He wasn't like a Thanos personality where it's like I want to kill everyone.
Oh, but when the first time he got out, he did raise a lot of villagers. But I feel like this is a learning experience. I feel like we could have just gone, "Hey, buddy."
What if he's just
maybe-
misunderstood?
Maybe not. Yeah. What if it was just
What if
misunderstood?
he does have a name?
Maybe this is what the prequel is like. It's gonna go the Hunger Games route and just be like, President Snow was right, and just actually that's not what the prequels did for that. No. It's not. This is a joke for legal reasons. That was a joke.
I have not read it. Was a song
A song of birds,
songbird
songbird.
something?
Song
Uh,
of Ice and something.
No,
it was-
that's Game of Thrones.
No, I know, but the title was very Game of Thrones.
Let me look at
Songbirds
Hunger
and something.
Games. See, oh, they're making a movie out of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why would ever I read the book when I have the movie? No, I would read the book. It's fine. Yeah. Hunger Games.
Songbirds and
sequel.
snakes.
Songbirds and Snakes. Yes, I forgot about that. Oh, good
Yeah.
job though.
I don't really plan on reading it, but
From what I've heard of it, it's fine.
Yeah, I heard
it's
it
about
was,
President Snow being. Apparently, he was a. Actually, I should. Never mind. This will not be a spoiler podcast for
Okay.
books that we're not talking about.
next one, separation of countries, religions leads to historical fallacies. We talked about that.
Very
Mimics Abrahamic religions with the same basic plot lines but different
Mm-hmm.
core beliefs. World building is not hold your hand. It's very respectable to the reader.
I did like that a lot.
yeah.
The
The
we
world-
kinda,
the
like,
world
got to go
building
through it.
Was not in a way where it's like once upon a time there was a land with dragons and
Mm-hmm.
this is what it wasn't like that at all. You're thrown right into it from the beginning. I love that it opened on a beach.
Yeah, and she's just like taking a night swim,
Yeah.
but also terrified because there's a man in the water. Which
Yeah.
fair, same.
And it's like the night
Mhm.
before something big is going to happen in her life.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel that with her. You feel that it feels like a good anticipation for the rest of the book.
Yeah, and I think I
It's good
did
tone.
love
Sets the tone.
this author. I kind of want to like analyze that a bit because every single time you're interacting with a character, they do something. Like it's very definitely a show don't tell
Mhm.
because Ied is a suspicious person and you can feel that when you're reading her.
Yeah.
Like it's cuz she reads everybody in the room, she analyzes the exit, she does that. With Tane, you can see her straightforward as
Yes.
a knife.
Yes.
Like she
and
has
she's
a goal,
skeptical
she
of
executes it.
everyone.
Yes.
And she's very confident.
She's very confident, but also she has like this thing that is like everything in my life has been a disaster. I am preparing for that disaster, like
Yeah.
constantly.
Yes.
And she is correct. Her life is a disaster. She should prepare for everything, and I feel bad for her. But also, like you can feel the author never tells you that.
Yes.
She just when she's wading in the water and holding the knife, you can kind of feel her looking at this man and going, "I've been too lucky so far."
Yeah.
And it says that.
I'm
and it
not
said-
taking anything
Yeah.
lightly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I have had too many blessings. This is my punishment, and I loved that line. Like it was so great of the characterization that I was like, it made me kind of sit back a bit and go, "Oh, this is my favorite one. That's my favorite character."
Yeah. We love Tane.
We love Tane.
Tane's
We stand an evil one in this house. Well, no, a very She just gets shit done.
Yeah,
She's
I
the
wouldn't
only
say she's
person in the
evil.
book. Yeah. Well, a lot of people get shit done.
No,
in that
Ian
one.
gets shit done.
Yeah, that's
Loth
true.
gets shit done.
Yeah. So Ron is the only one.
Loth gets a lot of shit done. I'm like,
Mhm.
he went through the whole map getting shit done.
I forgot. He went to the east, the south, the north,
He went
He
everywhere.
went places. Yeah.
And he went into the abyss. He went everywhere.
Maybe this is his arc, because remember when he didn't want to be the Lord because he's like, I want to go see stuff. This is him seeing stuff and going, actually, I would like to go sit in my house
Can I
now.
go home now?
Can I go home? I lost my best friend. I lost everything. Ugh. I gotta go home and get married.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The magic system does not overpower the plot.
Yes. It also...
So,
I forget that there's a magic system in this one. There's a
Yeah.
whole tree that's the magic system.
But there are multiple trees that do different things.
Yeah, it's fascinating too.
There's the fire, there's the water, and there's life.
Earth, wind. Sorry. But yeah.
And the what's it called? Was the water one?
I forget what the water one was. But
Was that Tane's tree or was that the?
Oh right, it's the dragons. It's the dragon's tree. It's the I don't think it was a tree. I think it was a.
Does anybody know?
Yeah, if somebody knows, let us know. But I forget what that one was. So much happens in this book. Like when we were reading through it, I was reading through it for this because I wanted to be able to actually talk about the characters again. I forget everybody's names. Which I feel sad about because all of these characters have great moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe that I forgot that Sabran was a bastard. Like, that was a huge plot point in this book, and I was like, oh yeah, that
But
guy.
she didn't let it define her. She was like, I might be, but I'm still queen, bitch. So
Yeah. And everybody went, okay.
wow.
Yeah. It was interesting, and I really loved that, just because it didn't define her.
Mhm.
Like, she was just kind of like, it's a footnote. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you guys like me as queen? Everybody went, kinda. And then she got into the war, and they're like, yes, the queen! Good!
My queen.
My queen.
Okay, uses strong female characters to tell the story without making it obvious that we are reading about strong female characters.
Mm-hmm.
Sapphic romance. It's subtle, not the star of the show.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate that. I think we talked about that.
Mhm.
The antagonists didn't get enough fear. I was never really scared of the Nameless One or of the Lady in the Forest, the Witch of Innis.
Mhm.
I wanted more of them. I wanted more scary, evil motivation. They had basically no motivation other than the 1,000-year running out.
Mm.
So
Yeah, there's not really any stakes in the book other
Yeah.
than 1,000 years, which
Yeah.
was a big thing given. But
Yeah.
I would have loved to seen, like, I think I told you this. Why would the witch, the lovely white worm, why would she be evil and be like anywhere near like the High Wyvern and everything when you could be a fucking dragon?
Yeah.
Like you could just
Just be
go
a
off and just
dragon.
you could just be a dragon.
Yeah.
Like you could just live your life and just be a wonderful white worm. Like that sounds pretty
just
great.
be the stuff of legends, but
Yeah, just go live in a cave.
yeah.
I don't know. Have fun. Have fun with it. Are you bored? Was she bored?
she was bored and horny.
Ah, that turns you evil, as we well know. Born and horny. Turns you evil.
Makes you do stuff.
That's true. Makes you big kisses from... Actually, no, Iad. Never mind. I understand that one.
Okay, this could have been a trilogy. We talked about that. It was fun as one giant book, but I think it could have been better with more time with each character and giving the antagonists more time to shine as antagonists. We just talked about that. So.
Yeah.
More dragons. I expected more dragons. The ending was a tiny bit anticlimactic. Everything went exactly according to plan. And there were no big conflicts or obstacles that inhibited the characters from reaching their goal in the midst of chaos. I did like how those chapters were written, though. They were a lot of fun to read. So that's something, towards the end, there's everything does go according to plan. They plan it out. They're like, this is what we're going to do. And then that's exactly what happens. Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, there was not really any stakes with it. They did do the Nameless One, but that was...
Yeah, but everything went according to plan.
And somehow everybody knew to be in the same place. And also Tane that had the rock. Nobody else knew that she had the rock.
Yeah,
Thank God she
the
was
jewel.
there. Yeah. Oh yeah, the jewel that was in her
her
side.
side.
Yeah. Dang, Tane, you're hardcore. But she kind of just magically knew. Like it was kind of like everybody leading to the same thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know who like gave you a roadmap to like where you're supposed to be.
Did
But, like,
Loth?
I think Loth did. Like
Yeah, because she went with Loth to meet the ruler on the, on the island.
That's
of
the island of the Empire of the 12 Lakes.
Empire of the 12 Lakes.
Yeah. He seemed chill.
And then
chiller.
she had to go to the Priory, get an orange for Iad,
Mm-hmm. Right.
go back to court. So Loth stayed with him.
Mm-hmm.
She went back to court, gave Iad the
orange.
She got better. She also ate an orange.
Oh, I forgot about
And
that.
she encountered the witch when she went to the Priory. and there was a whole fight there. That witch
Did
killed
they burn the tree down?
that witch killed the prioress, the current prioress, and
Yeah.
she took over.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't think yes.
Rocket Reeds is asking, was it Tane for the water tree thing?
I think so.
I think so.
I think Tane
Yeah.
was Tane
Because
was
that's
the one.
that whole thing of there's the water dragons and the fire dragons. So
and there was also the Tane was like born in the sea village, and also
Yes.
they kind of just lived there, like there, and then she died by fire. Like
Yes.
everybody around her, she didn't die by fire.
no.
She was chasing a butterfly. Good for her. But like everybody else on the island died in a tragic flame accident. So only you can prevent forest fires.
Tane.
Tane, you didn't though. You chased a butterfly. But yeah, she does represent like the water side of things. Iad represents what does Iad fire?
Fire.
Because it's
Yeah.
the Priory. Yeah. And then who else would we have? But yeah.
Okay. I like that we're going through these now. Okay. More dragons. I said that. I love that the dragons spoke.
Love that.
They have their own characteristics and personalities. I wanted more from the evil king. There was maybe
Yeah.
1 or 2 chapters through Loth's perspective on that, and then only briefly mentioned in passing later on. I wanted more foreboding on that front. We talked about that already.
I forgot that he actually went to the kingdom too. Like the guy can speak. The nameless one can just talk. He doesn't talk much though. I
No.
guess that's. I
And
wonder
when
if
they
just
do
prefer
speak,
that.
it's like in all caps and it's a different font. So I was like, this is... I kind of thought of... 1 second. Let's just get this thought out. I thought of in the final battle of Hogwarts when Voldemort just puts his voice into everyone's minds.
Everybody.
I heard that. That's all.
Actually, yeah, because it kind of it says that it has like a power to it,
Mhm.
or there's like I like that there's characterization in the font and everything too. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, you just
But
read it
also-
differently. Okay, well,
Yeah.
we had a comment. Sorry.
Yeah, Jay Billy says not enough dragons.
Yeah, agreed.
Yes.
It is.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Not enough
dragons. It's. We're so salty. We're so salty that there's not enough dragons in this book.
Samantha Shannon.
Samantha Shannon.
More
please.
dragons.
More dragons. Have them talk more. Just like
Yes.
I don't know. How about a dragon dating sim? I would propose a dragon dating sim
Dragon
because I
orgy.
would love Tane to talk them through like their first relationship after thousands of years.
Nobody
I would
would.
read that. I would absolutely read that. But anyways, side tangent over. We would love more dragons. It's just so salty that there's not more.
Yeah.
And then they go like to the empire that worships them as
Mhm.
gods, that like takes direct commands from them and does everything like that. And we still get no dragons.
There's
It's just
one
the
dragon
humans.
rider. Like we
Yeah.
meet other dragon riders. She fights them.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, the asshole one.
why
yeah.
can't we meet their dragons too?
Yeah, it's like the dragons don't communicate well. It's like they only communicate with their humans, but
Yeah,
also they
and
don't
not with
really
each other.
communicate with each other. Yeah, because there is like a whole. I guess there's the faction difference too. Like the dragons from the Empire of the 12 Lakes versus the dragons from what is the empire called? It's not the Inish. It's the
Oh yeah.
no.
Inish?
Sabran is
Innis?
Inish.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right.
Inish.
Innis.
Inish.
Inish.
But there's also like another one that has it's the Svik. It's
Oh.
yeah, the ski whatever it's skidly doo bop.
Komiki? Komeki?
But yeah, it's a long name. I probably won't find it. Actually, we could go to the maps. That's probably a better idea.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, we can continue on from
Okay.
that one.
The next one. It seems like the end was too happy ending for such a high fantasy book. Though I won't always complain about happy endings because that's why we read. But like how the end of the Poppy Wars was the ending the story needed, not what the reader needed. This ending felt like something the reader needed instead. I think it could have been a better story if certain issues were resolved differently or not resolved at all. So I
Actually,
talked
yeah.
a little bit about the Poppy Wars and how that ending of the trilogy, you haven't read all 3 of them yet,
I haven't.
but that ending felt like the ending that the book deserved, not what any reader wanted.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yes. So
Oh.
it is not the ending that you expect. It's
Mhm.
the ending that
Like it's the natural conclusion of it.
yes, it's a natural conclusion. It's the way it's supposed to end.
Yeah, this one felt like a fairy tale.
This one felt like a fairy tale
Yeah.
because it's a happily ever after type of situation.
Yeah, but also people be out there spending 10 years in a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that truly happy for you? Is it okay, cool.
but that
Good
there's
for
that
you.
hope.
There is that hope.
There's that hope.
There's like a through line of hope in the very end of it where like Tane goes and like touches her village again and like
Mhm.
walks amongst the trees and sees like the statue of What's her name again? It's the person that she's
Cleo?
the
No.
yeah. No, not Cleo.
Neporo.
Nephoro?
Nephoro.
Yeah. Some shoes. I forgot about that. Oh, right. And then Iad goes back.
Yeah, Iad becomes Prioress.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, Nephoro, you're
Nephoro,
right.
yeah.
Congratulations. We finally remembered. Finally remembered who she was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Komorodu.
Komor
Queen of Komorodu.
the self-proclaimed Queen of Komorodu. Yeah.
Komorodu.
And the dragons are Seek, I believe. This guy.
Psyche.
Psyche.
So I know the pronunciations because I listened to it first.
Oh yeah, do you want to talk about the audiobook?
I hated the audiobook. It actually made me stop reading for a while. I started reading it a long time ago, and I even made a comment in one of my videos saying that this didn't need to be that long because I was trying to get through the audiobook and was like blanking, and I wasn't. That's not normal for me to not be able to follow an audiobook. But with this one, I was like, is it the story that's bad or is it the audiobook that's bad? Like, what's going on? And then last month I bought it. I was like, I'm just gonna read it because I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about it, so I'm gonna read it. Maybe it was just the audiobook. It was totally, don't listen to it. Read it. Don't listen to the audiobook. The narrator seems like she's an actress that is just trying to show range of accents for no reason. Everyone has different accents for no reason, and they don't really match with what's going on. That's just my opinion. I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Read it.
I've not read to the audiobook, but I can attest that it's a hard time to get through the first few chapters. Like, because it's a little bit slow. It's a slow build.
Yeah, I feel
And it has a
actually
slow
it
ending.
starts really well.
Mm-hmm.
It starts like, ooh, okay. And then you go to court, and you're like, well,
okay.
this is a little boring. And then you meet the first High Western, and you're like, okay.
Okay, all right, there's a dragon.
Okay. And then they're just sitting and having tea with all the ladies and telling stories, and you're like, oh.
I mean, like, his dick is rather small. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Why, yes.
Why, yes. My husband. Yeah.
And then
well,
you're
he's
like,
dead now.
Where there's dragons on the cover. Where are the dragons? I was
Yeah.
promised dragons.
No, I think I did judge a book by its cover with the whole dragon thing. I looked at it and I was like, oh my god, Priory the Orange Tree. I was promised dragons. There was 3 dragons that I can recall. Most of them were evil, which I feel like is bad dragon representation. But also, I won't knock an evil dragon.
Respect dragons.
I'll take it. I'll take an evil dragon if that's what I get. Why not?
I'll take any dragon.
I'll take any dragon any day.
I have an issue now, after reading this, with the first Agatar book. Because in the end, she fights a worm.
Oh, she does. Oh, bad representation.
But
why you gotta kill a worm?
I talked about this before in one of my videos about it, that she was actually fighting a dragon. And I was like, but I went back and looked, and it's spelled W-O-R-M.
Oh, so is she actually fighting like a worm?
But no, she's supposed to be fighting a dragon.
Sarah J. Maas.
But
do you
the
know the
whole
difference
point,
between worm and worm?
But that's the thing. Now I'm thinking maybe Sarah J. Maas just didn't know that that the dragon worm is spelled W-Y-R-M.
Sarah J. Maas, if you see this, please respond to us. I don't think she'll see this. But
I love
please
you,
respond.
Okay?
I do.
I have nothing bad to say about you. It's just maybe you just missed it. Maybe she was fighting a worm. I love you. Please don't judge me.
You're Alaskan bullworm.
It's an Alaskan.
Yes. So while I was reading it, I thought the Alaskan bullworm, and apparently a bunch of people did because I saw it on Book Talk that everyone was like, was everybody else just picturing the Alaskan worm while reading?
Is this like a notorious worm? What does it look like?
It's the worm from SpongeBob.
Oh, it's that one. Okay. Well, you're quoting the deep magic to me, and I'm not remembering it.
The deep lore.
Mm-hmm. The deep lore.
Yeah,
I was there when it was written, and I still fucked up.
Oh, chocolate. I always hated it. You can't wait for me to die, can't you?
Anyways, what else?
Okay, the matriarchal society in all parts of the map was not questioned at any point, and I loved that. It made me feel proud and represented.
Yeah, people are just like, yeah, she's the boss, and I'm like, that's different.
Yeah, and the pirate queen was a pirate queen, and that was not...
Nobody questioned that at all.
There was even a line at some point where they were like, the men are gonna have to, like, help. And I thought that was so funny. that was one part where I was like, okay, she just threw that in there just to be funny.
Mhm.
Because she was like, the men are gonna have to like stop their housework and actually come fight with us.
Damn it. We expected them to stay at home this time. Damn.
I thought that was hilarious because it was just flipped and it was
But
funny.
nobody made it. I like it because it's kind of a different read because nobody made a
Yeah.
comment about it. I kind of enjoy these books. Like I do enjoy the whole fight against it, but also I enjoy the whole no, this is normal.
Yeah.
Like I don't know which one is powerful. They're both powerful in their own ways, but I
Yes.
do enjoy a book like this where it's just like no, like it's just an enjoyed read of like no, they're the boss, and
Yeah.
nobody has to say like a weird sexist comment to them.
Yes.
Yeah,
There was nothing sexist.
which
In-
is
I- in-
interesting. Yeah,
I won't
in
say
either
in,
direction.
I won't say in either direction because
Oh.
of the comment I just said of like the men are gonna have to get off their asses and help.
that
Is
is
that
a little
sexist?
bit.
I don't know.
Is it culture? Is it sexist? We'll never know.
It
There's
wasn't
so
in
many.
a bad way, but
Oh yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hmm.
Okay, the writing was redundant. Just
Yes.
a little bit. We are reminded many times of the plot of the purpose of each character. It didn't need to be that long. Not because the story didn't need the pages, because it does. I feel like it could have been even better if it was longer. But it could have been shorter just because it didn't need to repeat dialogue and exposition so much. So we are
Yeah.
reminded many, 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 many times that the 1,000 years is up, that the Nameless One is coming, that winter is coming.
That Sabran needs to have a child.
Yeah.
Like we're reminded so much of that. Where it's okay. It's okay to like chill, like take a chill. Well, I guess in the character's perspective, this is not chill. This
Yeah.
is we need to keep
No
on
time for
reminding
chill.
people. No time for chill. But I'm like, you can take a chill pill and just like I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe just sit for a bit.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
one thing I thought like okay, it's kind of like when you're writing a paper and you need to fill that word count, and you just start kind of repeating yourself but using a thesaurus.
Yeah. Where it's just like, yeah, this is coming. This is also happening, but also this is coming.
Yes,
But also,
but
this is
did I
happening.
tell you about this?
But also, did I like take off my shirt and tell you about this?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
witch boobies.
Witch movies.
Witch boobies.
There's an odd amount of that. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate my witch movies.
I'll take them.
I'll take them.
Okay.
Sorry. There's a lot of naked women exposing exposing. What's a good term for it?
Exposing themselves.
There's that too. There's that too. but-
Exhibitionists.
No. There's the giving like telling them
Exposition.
exposition,
Okay.
but like as an active verb
Both.
rather than a
You said expose, and I thought of
it's an expose. It's a
objection.
objection relevance. But yeah, there's a lot of women that just like kind of pop up and they go, "Oh, you've caught
Yes.
me." And they're like, "We're just here in the woods." But yeah,
But
they're
go
like,
ahead.
But go ahead. Yeah, we're listening.
Yeah.
Why not? Like there's a lot of that, which I feel like is one of your points too.
Yeah.
But it's them kind of telling you what already happened and telling you
Yeah.
who they are and just admitting to everything. And I'm like, and then I would read the chapter and then go
It's
put
very-
the book down and go, did that just happen?
Yeah, it was very like Dr. Evil, where it's like, may I tell you my plan?
May I tell you my evil plan? Because like the witch,
Laser
we did
beams
not.
attached to the heads.
That's true. But like there's a lot that happens with the witch, but like there's just a moment that sticks in my head a lot where they meet her in the woods and it's just like she tells them like, "Oh yeah, I'm the white worm." And they're like, "Wait,
Yeah.
that was you." And she's like, "Yeah, that was
That was
me.
me."
That was me. I hate my great granddaughter." Like I like just it's so weird.
I technically killed one of my own offspring.
Again and again. That's little me, the white worm. Like it's a weird thing that happens, but also I
Mhm.
appreciate it because like she's the only way that we know what the fuck happened back in the day.
Yes.
And like I feel like that's
It's
what the
a little
authors.
too convenient.
It's a little bit too convenient.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's
yeah.
funny because my next point was the characters explain themselves too much. Hello, I am Old Witch. Here's my entire life story.
And everybody goes, okay,
That was good information. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Do you mind if we take notes? They're like, please take notes.
Yes.
You will be tested later.
Write it down.
Yeah, write it. Write it down. It is so.
Okay, next one I already talked about.
Hmm.
Do not listen to this book. The narrator can't decide where everyone is from, and
Mhm.
everyone has different accents that kind of distracts from the story itself, in my opinion. I feel like I truly started enjoying this book once I started reading the physical copy. I already said
Mhm.
that. Okay. Reading a digital copy can help with page count intimidation, since you're not focusing on the page number so much. Little hack. I just thought of that because I purchased it, but I also got the ebook version because I
Mm.
like reading on the go. And this is such a large book that I didn't want to carry it around with me, like to work and
Yeah,
just
I did
places.
notice. Yeah, you can't really throw it in your bag and go,
no,
especially
it's
if you
too
have
big.
to go a lot of places.
Yeah, and there is a paperback, but I feel like the paperback is so cumbersome, like even more than this, because it's like when you open it, it's like the pages are fighting you.
Every single step of the way.
Yeah, unless it's a super
Gotta
floppy one.
wrangle it
And what I
down.
saw from what I've seen of other people that have the paperback, it seems pretty stiff.
Mhm.
So I didn't want to get the paperback. I got the
Mhm.
this also. I thought it would look pretty on the shelf. So that's
It
why I got
has a
this one.
fantastic. This is again. This is the book that I judged by the cover because I'm like, ooh, dragons. Disappointed, but like it does have a beautiful cover.
Mhm.
Like whoever did
Even
the
on the
art.
back. Look at this one.
Yeah, look at that
Look
one.
at that boy.
That's a good boy. That's a very good boy. And I love that it's reflective. I love that he has like a lot of, just love that boy.
Yeah.
He looks.
The front boy.
It's a good boy.
So
Yeah.
I'm pretty. Is this not the scene where she's in the tower and she's like?
Oh, that's a bad boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the High Western.
Actually, yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, because they all have wings. Worms have wings.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they don't have.
Wait, no. Worms don't have wings.
Worms don't have wings? I thought they didn't have legs. Wait a minute. Worm.
Wait, do worms have wings and not legs?
Worm. Well, that's a movie.
Worms do not have legs,
Worms do
but
not
they have an
legs.
organ on their head that helps them fly.
That's the dragons, the water dragons. They have the crown.
Oh, did I get that mixed up?
It's okay. Honestly, we don't see them enough. Don't
You need more dragons.
You need more dragons.
so that you don't get mixed up.
That
with
way they
the
don't just blend
dragons.
together in your head because you're like, is that a bad boy? He seems like a bad boy.
So because sometimes they do talk about wyvern, worm, and dragon.
They do have a very big difference between the three.
Yeah.
And also, they're from different regions, too.
They also talk about a basilisk at
Really?
some point. Yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Where was that?
Someone was talking about it.
That's fair. There's a lot of magical creatures in this book that kind of just get glossed over, and I'm like, we could
Wait.
spend some time on that.
Wait!
So she wrote.
I'm genius!
Inspiration!
They're Am I not thinking of the same book? There was at some point the half wolf creature
Yes,
that the
God.
Priory.
The Priory rides.
Yes.
They just
What are
appear
they
out
called?
of nowhere. Oh, I can. We have a glossary, correct?
Yes.
But I absolutely adored those. I
Yeah,
wanted
they
one
were
so
so
fucking
cute.
bad. They
They were
were
like
so
little
cute.
doggies.
It was dogs that you rode to war. It's fantastic.
Okay, so it should be.
In the meantime, while you guys figure that one out, Rocket Reed says the paperback is a fixed boy and that they got the hardcover so they can paint the edges.
Ooh.
Jay Bailey.
Can you send us a picture
Please
of
send
that?
us.
Send us a
Please
picture
send us
of
a
that.
picture.
That would be rad.
Okay, who did Bailey?
Yeah, Jay Bailey said basilisk, not pictured in parentheses.
Oh, okay.
No, damn. It's fine.
So wait, so I'm wrong about the basilisk. That's not in here.
I think that is, yes.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
It's maybe something else I read.
Right,
recently.
they have a
I don't know.
sand eagle in here. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
But it looks in.
It's
You'll like
coarse
this
and
eagle
rough.
though.
Gets
It's pretty
everywhere.
neat. Papaspa, a giant plant-eating bird, native to South. She answers only to Kashalan, who tamed her. I forgot about that one. There's
Wait,
so many cool things.
Chessar, he's a good guy.
He's a good one.
He's like Iad's daddy.
I think he is Ian's dad.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a don't be construed.
Yeah.
Don't be misconstruing that.
Not
Mm-mm.
like that.
Name of the deep snows. Oh, it's a dragon. The name is. See, they each have names. They have names, but then there's Imperial Dragon. I would love to see more dragons. They look so cool.
Wait, so which one? Oh,
These are the-
Aralok.
The Arlok. Yes, I fucking love the Arlok.
Iknemunon.
Yeah.
Is that
And
it? Iknemunon.
Iknemunon. It's like a.
I think I'm putting too many vowels in that.
I mean, I think you're not putting
Iknem-
enough. It's like 15 syllables. Like it's just.
Iknumon? Iknumon?
It's like a Pokemon. Like Iknemunon.
Iknemunon.
Ataka. I only watch Pokemon in Spanish. Yeah.
Oh.
Guess what the verb is for attack? It's ataka.
Ataka.
Oh, what?
Oh, ew.
Oh, ew. Gross.
Don't look
Google
up.
it.
Don't look it
Oh,
up.
mythical. Okay, that was the key word.
Rocket
Oh my
Reed.
god, they're such good boys.
Yeah.
Look at those boys. They're like weasels.
Rocket reads.
Yeah, she said, they said, I'll post a pic in the Heartbeat app when I
Oh,
do
good.
it.
Yes.
Please
Filter
do.
and decide on the color.
Yes.
Ooh.
If you're watching and you don't have Heartbeat is a nice little way for all of us to get together when we're not on live or when we're not in the comments.
Mhm.
You can send me your memes there because we're still doing the thing where you send me your memes and someone at random will win a water bottle. So go do that if you haven't already.
It's the greatest meme.
They also love that there's a glossary.
Yes.
They just commented right now.
There's a not only is there a glossary, there's a timeline of events. There's like a little thing of who all the characters are and why they're important. That's all fantastic when you're going back and trying to remember who's who. I didn't look at it much while reading because I wanted everything to fall into place as I was reading. But it is nice when you're trying to like go back and remember things, which I've already said. But yeah,
these are very good little creatures. The dog things at the Priory, the place of origin, the south.
Ichneumon.
Okay. But yeah, it is a wonderful little creature. They appear in the book for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I loved every second of it.
It's a great 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a great 2 minutes. When they're chasing the dragon down.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That was a stressful scene. But also, it was a great scene because like I just love that they're just good little guys.
Yeah, they're just good boys.
They're just good boys. Yeah.
They're loyal.
They had a job and they
What's
did
happening?
it. It's good.
Nothing going on.
Oh. Man.
Nothing.
Anyways. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, sorry.
Where was I? Do not listen to the book, but I just reading a digital copy. Okay. Overall, I give this book 4 stars. It was solid, fun fantasy. It was written well, but not beautifully per se. It wasn't The Starless Sea, and I had just read The Starless Sea, so that's what I'm talking about. That. It wasn't Addie LaRue, because Addie LaRue was written beautifully. It was written practically. It had its moments of imagery. It did. I am a high imagery person, and I crave those descriptions, and it lacked in the prose, but I think I made up for it in story.
It did. It had a really solid story. They kept on reminding you of the story, but I did like that the characters did have a goal, and they got to it.
Yes.
Like, there wasn't a character in this book that I felt like was just sitting, except maybe for the Doctor. But also, the Doctor was forced to also like, he was one of those characters that, like, sat there, and the plot literally gripped him, and then ran him into the wall.
But
like,
then,
that's good.
Stupid Nicolaes, he even says it. He was like, I was, like, living through this whole adventure, and he's on the boat when they're in the abyss, fighting the Nameless One. Where is he? He's asleep.
Yeah.
He slept through the whole thing.
Don't worry about it.
But honestly, me, like, how many times has that happened before where I wake up and I'm like, what happened?
You know what? In this case, if the world was ending, would I just go to sleep and be like, hopefully it stops?
Yeah.
Like, maybe
honestly,
just
what
I
is
wake
he
up
gonna
and
do
it's
about
fine.
it? I think that's what Samantha Shannon, she was like, what do I do with Nicolaes during the big fight scene at the end? He has one hand, I think he had like one eye or something. He
went through some shit.
Yeah, he like lost some limbs.
Yeah.
And he was just useless at this point. She's like, what do I do with him? Just put him to sleep. He's had enough.
He's had enough. Yeah.
He's an old man. He's a lonely old man.
He lost his surrogate granddaughter. Like, he lost most things in life, which was interesting.
And the love of his life, he lost.
He lost the love of his life. Even the love of his life and his wife, like, understood. They, like, had an agreement.
Wait, did he have a wife?
He did have a wife.
But he was gay.
He was gay. But he had to marry because he had to continue the whole thing. Also, I think they met after he was already married.
Did he have a...
He had a granddaughter.
No, the other guy was married.
Yeah, no, sorry, not Nicolaes. Nicolaes did not have a wife.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
His boyfriend did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
and they did meet later.
They did meet later,
I'm
and
remembering.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Like, they did meet later, and then I did like that he did have stake in the story, but not in the way that you'd expect. Like, he did have stake in it with, like, no, my surrogate granddaughter's over there, and like it is interesting to see the way that he kind of coped with it, because like when his boo died, he went to Sabran and he tricked her because all he wanted was money, booze, and everything else. And after that, she was like, no, you're an asshole, I'm just gonna kick you out. And he's like, fair. And then didn't, and like complained about it a lot.
Yeah.
But
and even when he sees her again, he's a rude little fuck.
Yeah.
And she's just very regal about it. And she's like, you know what? I don't care what you say. I'm queen. Did she let him back in? She did.
I believe so. Under supervision.
Yeah.
I believe there were some constraints to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contingencies.
Yeah. But yeah, then that's how he met the boo and everything.
Long live Sabran.
Long live Sabran. Very good.
And
queen.
no more children.
Thank God.
She's had enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I recommend this book to fantasy readers. If you normally don't like fantasy, this might be too much for you. This is not like Sarah J. Maas fantasy books. This is much more dense. in that it does not distract. It is not distracted too much by romance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It does not have sorry. It does have some elements of romance, but they are so in the background. It's not why we're here. We're here for the dragons, and there wasn't as much dragon lore as I'd hoped, so that's why only the 4 stars.
Yeah, because if it had no dragons in it, I feel like I would have liked this book a little bit more. Just because I did get a little bit let down. Like if there's a different
you
world,
can't give us dragons and then not give us dragons.
and then not give us dragons. It's just so sad. Like I read this book with the intention of learning about new dragon lore, learning about like all these different societies and how dragons interact with them, and they're like a footnote.
Mm-hmm.
Where like yes, they rule a nation, but they don't like come out in discussions.
Yeah,
like they're treated like gods, but they don't really
Yes.
speak, and it's. I guess that's a play on gods, but like it's
yeah.
Now that I think about it, but like it's such an interesting book. But I feel like if you had just removed all the dragon context from it, it wouldn't have worked. But like because the bad guy's a dragon, but like if you removed it from it, I think I would have enjoyed the sapphic romance a little bit more because that way I could actually focus on it instead of constantly hoping like the dragons. They get dragons
And I
now?
did also want a little bit more of like Ied being a badass in front of Sabran because she was secretly her knight.
Yeah.
It wasn't
for the
out in the
longest
open.
time,
Yeah,
yeah.
because when the whole thing was happening with the White Worm and she was taken, Ied and Sabran were asleep together.
Mm-hmm.
And the men came in and they were like, "Queen, we need to take you to the safe house."
Mm-hmm.
So she went, and Ied was left there, and she was like, "Okay, I'm waiting for the footsteps to fall so that I can get up and go fight."
Mm-hmm.
And so she looks like to everyone else that she's just waiting. But then she goes and she fights, and it's
She goes
like,
out, jumps out of
whoa.
one parkour.
Yeah,
Like there's a lot of parkour for Ied. Like I did love that a lot to
Yeah.
be like, yeah, I'm not dressing up. I remember when she came back to Sabran and she was like, I'm not dressing anymore like you bitches dress because it sucks.
Yeah.
And I would like to move. And then just walks out. And that's how Loth finds out that they're sleeping together, which is really funny. But I did love Ied and Sabran's relationship. I did love that it was a slow burn. I'm always a big fan of a slow burn.
Yeah.
And I love that they actually took time to kind of build that trust a lot. But even when like there was a question about Ied, Sabran never really questioned. Like I did love that. There's just like there is a lot of trust in between them. I did love the relationship, and I think that's what keeps on bringing me back to the book. Because every once in a while, like their hands will touch, or they'll go out in the garden and start speaking about their feelings,
lingering eyes,
or the lingering eyes. It's fantastic. It's a
Love
great
it.
little romance that you can kind of do.
That is the entire female gaze. Is just the lingering hands, the
long walks in the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The eyes that just they look
Secretly
just a
protecting
little
your
too
love
much.
life because your assassins are trying to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Female
the womanly
gaze.
gaze. Yeah. Gotta love it.
Mr. Darcy's hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
Most
That
ardently.
tension. Most ardently. Okay. Another thing I was gonna comment. I didn't write it down.
Mhm.
But the dragon lore I found similar to that of Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
In the beginning of Game of Thrones, we learn about the dragon lore, about where they feel the dragons came from. Was that the moon cracked open, and the moon was an egg,
Mhm.
and the dragons sprang from the moon. I thought that was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't really have, like, I wanted that. I wanted to
Yeah.
know more about, like, where do they come from? Did they rule the earth before humans got here? Are they, like, is that why they're considered gods?
Mhm.
Did they give life to the humans? Did they want someone to, like, do their bidding on land and,
Actually,
like, you know,
there is
stuff like
like
that?
there is like a chapter of Tane's that like she's
Oh,
standing
really?
before the dragons, but it's not anything about their origins. But like she's standing before the dragons and she's like, I wonder if they can see through me because I am mostly made of water and water is theirs to rule.
Yes.
Like it was fantastic moment of just like showcasing the awe that people have for these wonderful creatures, and I loved that moment. I really wish we had seen more of it.
Yeah.
Because also we only get like 2
I'm-
scenes of her being like a dragon rider before she's taken.
Yeah.
Before like her dragon is taken,
Yeah.
which is.
And
it's
then
just
when she is, oh, that's another thing that I was a little concerned about because she's on the back of this dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going into the water.
Yeah, I know. And she had to like.
And she's like, I held my breath and I know what I'm doing. And I was like, I don't think this would work.
The physics of it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No,
with
because like the sheer force of a dragon just.
like, imagine a dragon going like.
I think that
in-
would snap your neck if you didn't
Yes.
like crouch down to it. Like it's I know the physics of it. I encouraged it to
even
magic.
when you're
Yeah.
on like I'm thinking like Magic Mountain, when you get on Goliath or something, there's that big drop, and during that drop, if your head isn't down, you can't pick it up, and that's just a drop on a roller coaster.
It's just a little one. It's
Well,
not
and
like
that's
a
just me.
massive
I know
like, weight.
I'm very small, but I remember like I went on it a few times, and one time I put my head up, and I like, and another time I put my head down, and I couldn't pick my head up because of the force of it.
Yeah, it's like the G-force. It's like fighter pilots, but fantasy.
Yes.
It's like Top
But
Gun.
fighter pilots, you also have
You also have like the whole thing. You have oxygen mask. You have everything
yes.
else. It was interesting to see. I kind of when a dragon riding is concerned, I kind of just go, "Is magic." Like there is
magic.
There is a barrier of disbelief that I have with it, but also like in this case, I did like the fact that they had. I personally don't like water. I thought it was fascinating that Tane attributed water to being holy. Like a lot of the times, the most important decision she's ever made is either on water or next to water or in water.
Oh my God, you're right.
And it's like I loved that about her, just because she lives in it. Like the first scene that we see in her is her in the water, like.
We open on the beach, and she makes the decision to
Yeah.
not turn him in.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that just ruins her whole life. But yeah, Shawnee showed mercy to a person and paid dearly for it. But it's so interesting to see like her relationship with water and her relationship with everything else. Like I've never seen a person enjoy being, I don't know if I can say it on a live stream, but like wet so much. Like I've never seen a person just enjoy that and live in it. I personally couldn't. I don't like being in water.
I would love it.
Yeah, I like being on boats. I don't like being.
Oh, I love
in the
being on boats.
Yeah. It's the boats for me. Yeah, but it was an interesting thing that Tane had a relationship with water and had a relationship with her dragon who loved water too. And that's where I kind of have like a barrier of disbelief with that. Like, yeah, if she lives in water, if she grew up like, what was it, like 13 years? Like training to be a dragon rider.
Yes, I think.
You can hold your breath for 7 minutes. Like, or if they want to do it for
you're
longer.
Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
20. Because who's human?
Because who's human? Are you good? Is this a cry for help? All of these weird stunts. Oh, Tom Cruise. But yeah, it was interesting, and I loved
He's
Tane.
just actually immortal.
You know he might be, but also, should we start fearing him? That's the big question that I have. We should fear Tom Cruise. He knows to do too much.
Actually, Kate Winslet beat Tom Cruise's record for holding her breath underwater for Avatar 2. She held her breath for 7 minutes.
Wait,
beating
Kate
Tom Cruise.
Winslet,
Yeah.
Avatar 2?
She's in
The
the
blue
second
people.
Avatar.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Kate. I mean, if James Cameron likes someone, he's gonna bring him back.
She
20
held
years
her
later.
7 minutes, and then she said she'll never be able to do it again, but she still broke Tom Cruise's record. So,
Ha! A woman did it better.
oh my god.
But isn't recognized for it. Why aren't people... Who commented that?
No, I just knew that.
Oh, you
fact
just knew
off the
that?
top of my
Yeah.
head.
Oh.
That's just the
yes,
husband.
yeah,
That is
actually.
just
Thank you.
straight from the dome,
Born
from the
in the water,
husband.
live in the water.
Straight from the dome.
Yeah.
I also did not know she was gonna be in Avatar 2.
I also did not know that she was. It's not on her movies or anything.
Oh.
But interesting.
Did you hear
Wait.
me?
Oh,
Is
what?
she also into Scientology?
Is this like an odd skill that Scientologists like have to have? Like you have to survive underwater.
Maybe they train them. I don't know. Let's not get into that.
Let's not
This is not for
sully
that.
my Google search. I don't
Yeah.
need the Church of Scientology like looking at my Google stuff. Sorry.
Okay. How long have we
Anyways.
been streaming?
We've been streaming for about an hour and 12 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Um,
that covers it.
And Kate Winslet
Yeah.
is not a Scientologist.
That's good to know.
Yeah. We learn something new every day.
Yes.
Yes. But I did truly enjoy this book. I forgot how much I enjoyed it until I was rereading it and talking about it with you. Because like a lot of things happen and a lot of little things add up and they do pay off. Given, don't stay for the dragons. Don't stay for the final fight. I think a lot of people most of the criticism that I heard was people criticizing the ending of it because it didn't go off. And I kind of enjoyed that a bit.
It started to go off.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. It started to go off in a way where it's like, oh shit. Things,
Oh, shit.
It's
Oh,
happening.
shit.
It's
The-
happening.
the
it's
fire's
happening,
erupting.
It's
It's good.
happening. It stopped.
Yeah. You're like, go back to sleep. And then he does.
Your vibrator died right before you finished. Sad. Sorry.
And in the case of this, the vibrator is the dragons. But
And there are no dragons.
and it just like go back to sleep and he's like, okay, fine. I'll get to you in 1,000 years.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Not a BDSM podcast. But yeah, it's It was a fine book. I did enjoy reading it. I kind of walked into it not expecting a lot with the dragons, so I wasn't as disappointed as most people I've seen online were, which is why I wanted to have you approach it the same way.
Yeah.
Because
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
There were moments that Pablo was laughing at me because I would go.
It was me when Iad like almost died.
Yes.
I was like, it was her
Let's take a little
sister.
context.
Yeah.
But you got. Oh my God, it's true though.
And Lamo.
It's probably to what I said.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
exactly what you said.
Yeah. It was
The
starting
ladies,
to.
we get it.
Yeah. Another womanly gaze.
Yeah.
We got
The
you.
husbands, no contact.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I think the next one we're gonna do on a live stream is probably gonna be Den of Vipers.
Oh god. Those who know.
Oh.
That one will definitely be a more R-rated stream.
We're considering not doing it on YouTube. We don't know, or getting the husbands beanbags so that way they can pelt us whenever we
Yes.
get too
That.
off the rails.
Yes, that
Um,
might be a full like unedited video that might be a little long. We might put that on Patreon because we might not be able
Well,
to
if
put
we
it
do
on YouTube.
live, I don't know.
Yeah. We just don't want to get in
Yeah.
trouble with YouTube because
Yeah.
YouTube's trying to be family friendly,
Well,
and
And-
that book
do it
is.
as a live stream and then
Mhm.
put it up on Patreon. We'll just
Okay.
have to, that way it doesn't stay on YouTube permanently.
Perfect.
That's fair.
Okay, so
Okay.
we might do that. So we'll live. I don't know if they can hear what Ethan just said. We might live stream it. Do you have something to say?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I mean, go ahead, finish that.
We might live stream it here on YouTube. So like people that want to comment and play live can, and then we'll take it off of YouTube and put it on Patreon.
Yeah.
So it'll stay on Patreon,
Mhm.
but you'll be here for the live.
But please,
makes sense.
I would love to
Okay,
hear
but-
opinions.
But we'll see how it goes
Mhm.
first.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes
We'll
first.
see how it
And
goes
then-
first.
Yeah, that's only
So-
if we get a little too.
So one time
Graphic.
when we live stream, be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might be a once in a lifetime thing, but also we want to hear your comments about it. We have
Yes.
many thoughts about it. It is a book.
It's
Um,
a book.
It's certainly a book.
It is
Yeah.
very good because Rocket Reed says, I need to read that book. So we have one person
So-
in.
Okay,
Okay.
read it. I don't recommend it.
We do
I
not.
don't recommend
Let
it.
me let me be absolutely clear.
Don't
We do
read
not
it.
recommend reading it.
No.
You can, but by God, we're sorry. We're absolutely sorry. It exists. We have many. We'll talk about it. Like if you want to, group therapy.
This is like reaching
group
into
therapy.
the bottom of the Walmart $5
Yes.
box.
Yes, it
Yes.
is. Yes, it is.
Lower your expectations. I went through 5 stages of grief, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Also, what I told you about it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I'll save that for when we're talking about it. But that was an epiphany in
Yeah,
itself.
I'm gonna have to reread the book now because of you, and it's.
I will not be rereading that.
I need to reread it so that way I can refresh my mind and go, oh no. So if you want to read it, please do. If you've already read it, please come with us
I
and
will
have
say
therapy.
I'm having fun with it
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not taking it seriously. Not 1 ounce of seriousness. I'm reading it just to say that I finished it.
Yeah.
And I have like maybe
They certainly finished, but
multiple
yeah,
times.
multiple times apparently.
With
And
weapons.
me turning the book
Apparently
upside
it's on
down
sale
to
on
try.
Kindle.
It's what?
It's available
It's
for
on
Kindle.
sale on Kindle.
Congratulations.
Rocket Reed says that they're gonna get it.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's on Kindle Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have Kindle Unlimited, it's technically free.
Oh.
I think. Because I remember, but I have the physical copy because I
Yeah.
gave it to you and then I
Bargain
read the
dollar
physical.
box.
Yes, I
Except it
did.
was 6.
Okay, I will say I did talk about it once in a
A book on haul.
book
or-
haul.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Mhm.
And I got it from a thrift store. I paid $6 for it.
You
and,
can find it.
And I did not know that it was going to be what it was when I bought it. Because I remember in one of the videos, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a very smutty book, and at some point there's a threesome. That's what I said in the video. Oh my god. Was it so much more than that?
Jay Bailey agrees to say, I cannot be part of you reading this myself, but would love to watch you discuss it. Lol.
Okay.
Okay, cool,
So,
cool. That's
Tune
fair.
in next time. Make sure to click the bell to be notified when we go live.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you don't want to miss it. It's only gonna
No.
happen once.
Yeah. And then
and
we're never going to
gonna
talk
do it
about it again.
Because we're just, hopefully I forget it by the time I'm 60 and don't suffer from dementia. Because
Oh.
that would be a whole mess for my grandchildren to go, Grandma, no. And be like, yes.
I had a friend named Roxy.
Diesel with a, no, Ryder with a Y.
Ryder with a Y.
And Diesel is his brother Garrett. Ew,
That is funny that the names are like Ryder, Diesel, Kenzo, Garrett. But
Any
we'll save it.
indication
We'll
of
save it.
quality. Rider with a Y was my first red flag, but there's
Yeah.
so many.
The whole book is red
The whole
flags.
book is just
There was one part I was
God.
trying to flag them by the scenes, but by character, and I couldn't keep track of the colors. So I was like, I don't care anymore.
it was me with the sticky notes at the very beginning. We'll talk about the sticky notes
Yeah.
that we.
You'll see it.
Anyways.
It's by my bed.
Yeah.
I have about 50 pages left.
Oh, thank
So
God.
I am gonna finish it tonight. It's no question.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't spend another day on it.
Be prepared, and also if you have children, put them away.
Oh,
Don't let them.
Hide your kids.
Yeah.
hide your kids.
Hide your.
Don't hide your wife.
Might,
Your
you
wife-
might would enjoy it
yeah.
actually. Maybe.
If you're a husband, you're probably not here. It's
We
just our
have
husbands that
two.
are here.
They actually also know the plot of the book because we would read passages to them.
Yeah, we can't shut up.
You
about
can't.
it.
You can't not. Like
I've
it's
been scarred.
yes.
I've been traumatized.
We all have been, including all the characters in that
Yeah, there's
So.
mm.
book.
Never have I read something so
So,
sexually violent, but intriguing, but terribly written. Anyway, that's not why we're here. But that's why we will be here next time
yeah,
on patio furniture because it's the only thing that we've both been on.
it's a wonderful patio
That's probably
furniture.
why.
If anybody's wondering about why we've been swaying so much,
Yeah, and what like the creaking? You probably hear the creaking. This is a swing that we had in our backyard, and we just decided to bring it up here.
tune in next time for ASMR of lawn furniture.
Oh.
Jay Bailey says, sounds like a train wreck. How you can't look away, you know.
Exactly.
It's a train wreck that you can't look away
That's
from.
exactly how I described it to my mother.
Your mother
I would be
knows too?
so interested to
Oh,
see
yeah.
how
No,
your
I-
mother like.
I described
let me
everything
know.
to my mom,
Yeah.
and my mom is like,
Yeah.
she's my best friend. But
Mhm.
she was like, "Why are you even reading that?" And I was like, "You know,
You
know,
know,
why. You
yeah.
raised me."
Tune in next time for talking about Den of Vipers. We have-
Yes, there will be a few regular scheduled.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, my. There will be a few regularly scheduled videos in between, but we hope to have more live streams more frequently. So again, be sure to click that bell to be notified when we go live. Be sure to subscribe if you're not, and like this video for engagement. So we do more live streams.
Mhm.
I just blatantly say it out there. Some people say like just like it if you liked it, which I say it all the time, but it helps with the
Yeah.
algorithm.
It does.
The algorithm. It helps. I don't have a shout out. You know what? Shout out to Rocket Reads and Jay Bailey. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, and thank you
Is-
for interacting.
How many people were here?
Oh.
Through it all, we had about 33 visitors the entire time.
Wow, that's not
Wow,
bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Thanks.
On
Mhm.
average, people stuck around for about, or there were groups of 5 people that stuck around for the video, but in total, 33 people visited.
That's not too bad.
Very cool.
Yay. Was there any more comments or just those two people?
Just those.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank
yeah.
you.
It was really cool
Um,
to hear other people's thoughts too.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yes. Say
Mhm.
last. Keep reading.
Oh, I don't know if I can do
I don't
that.
know if we can. I'm just gonna. Goodbye. Oh my god.
Oh,
oh
no! Oh wait.
Ah!
Stop.
I'm just gonna go for it.
And
I'm
we're
just gonna go
good.
for it.